Did you remember to set your clocks last night? I think it's just a wonderful coincidence that on this middle Sunday of Lent, we also begin daylight saving time, when we kid ourselves that we have more daylight than we had before. It's the great fiction with our clocks and schedules. I think it's a great coincidence that it happens in the middle of Lent this year, because it reminds us of what Lent is all about. Lent is a time of preparation for Easter, because at Easter, that is when our baptismal experience began. Many years ago for some of us, and happening in a few weeks for those newly converted to Christ when they receive their baptismal experience. But it's interesting to remember that the early Christians talked about baptism, becoming a disciple of Christ, experiencing the mercy of God, as enlightenment, as coming into the light, as Jesus said to Nicodemus, who came to him at night to find the light of God in the person of Jesus. It's interesting also that the very first words of God in the Bible, in the very first sentence of Genesis, is, "Let there be light." Jesus said, "I am the light of the world." And then he said to us, "You are the light of the world." Light is the theme of Christian life. We see reality in Christ the way God sees reality, the way it really is. And we live our lives according to that light, not according to other light which comes to us from elsewhere. Although in the world today there is less light, it seems to me, because everything seems dark. Wars here, wars there, starvation here, famine, unrest in so many countries. The darkness seems to be pervading. And perhaps that's our fault. Because if we're not living our Christian light to the fullness, if we are not doing what Jesus said we are to do when he said, "You are the light of the world," then perhaps that's why darkness seems to be winning, overcoming the light of Christ, which is the light of God. Perhaps we have to sink deeper into our baptismal experience, which is probably what Lent is meant to do for us. It's to bring us back to a realization of the great gift that has been given to us in Christ, and to live out that gift in an enlightened way so that we can spread the light of God around the world. At the Easter Vigil, we begin by lighting the great Easter candle, and then we take our lights from it. But the interesting thing is, very few people take their light directly from the candle. The light spreads throughout the church because each person is handing on the light to others. And that is a symbol of what the Christian life is meant to be, a handing on of the light that has been given to us so that others may see God's way, Christ's way, as their way. So as we continue with our preparation to celebrate Easter, let us, like Nicodemus, even though we may be in the dark somewhat, keep going to Christ, keep seeking the light, keep listening, reading the scriptural word, praying in the presence of Christ, so that the light will continue to spread throughout the world and the darkness will recede. Because that's what Christ came for, to do away with darkness and sin.